All right. Thank you for joining me today. And today we'll be discussing uh, for the series of videos, we'll take you through the Solafide OHADA accounting system. It is an accounting system, but more or less an enterprise resource planning software. And so today I will basically take you through one of the one of the modules found in the system. That's the point of sale. Now, in order for you to access this system, you can go to app.online, app.solafiteonline.com, or you go to solafiteonline.com. You'll be able to navigate to the platform. Now, when you get there, you need to create an account and you do verification. You can verify using your phone, email, or you sign up using your Gmail. If one of the procedures maybe has some issues, then you can use any of the three and you sign in. Now, when you sign on, you come to an interface, probably like what I have here. Basically, you may have one entity if in the course of signing up, you've created one and you'll be able to access it and see. Now, I already have an entity created. I may not need to create another one. So I have Bapo Limited. And so I can just open to it. And once you open, so the platform gives you room to manage multiple entities. If you're a consultant, you may be dealing with different businesses. You want to manage the data separately. So you'll be able to get access to. Now, once you are there, you open, a dashboard will show up. And in that dashboard, you see reload your charts of account. I think that's very important. You have to do that so that all the charts of accounts are automatically reloaded. And given that this system uses OHADA, you are basically reloading the OHADA charts of account, the entire charts of account, which also gives you room to be able to edit, rename, and change whatever you so desire. Now, with the dashboard, you see a quick overview of your operations and maybe things around that. And so we said today we'll be looking on one thing, which is the POS. Now, if you check at the sidebar, we have quick action. Quick actions basically gives you some quick things that you can do within the system without necessarily navigating the entire system, either as an accountant or non-accountant, especially for those who are not an accounting background. An accountant may go to accounting and finance and accounting, but you can just basically come to invoices, to this place where you are able to issue invoices. We are able to talk about estimates and quotations, write bills, develop purchase orders, register your customers, your supplier, your products, your services within the system. So it's a kind of a quick guide to some of the things that most businesses will likely have to use, maybe on daily basis. And so I will go to invoices to navigate into this the module for today. Now today we are looking at the POS. Now, in Solafite, basically, we believe that transactions are recorded, especially sales-related transactions are recorded in two ways. It can either be a credit invoice or an immediate cash sale. So we basically treat cash sales under POS because in a POS system, basically it's most often cash and carry. But if you have a credit invoice, you can use the credit invoice method. And so you can basically create. So if I go to the POS, I click on the POS, it gives me room. I will be presented with a new interface, like what I have here. And so I have a new interface here, basically presented for me to be able to do whatever I have to do. So looking at this interface, you can see that we have, this is where you search for your products. And if you search for your products, the system has been designed in multiple users. Currently, it is customized for basically a bar or a restaurant related activities where people come in, they see they have the table and they are able to. But then if I do not want to have this interface, I might go to the administration settings and do some changes there. And so let me just say I don't want to have that. I can just go to the administration and under administrative. I have lots of other things I'm able to do within the system. So here, if you see here, preferences, setting, maybe I want watermark on your invoices and things like that. They want to activate the economic tax system, the DFS, you go to administration. You want your bill costing, and you can have it. Other features, if you're running a supermarket, you can come here, activate. There's some features that you always see them because you are working with a supermarket. If you're working in the hospitality, like catering, restaurant, bar, and things like that, lodge, hotel, and you likely come to, and so currently it is active. So, but I don't want to use it. I can just basically turn that off and you will not. But here we have things like tap, open tap, maybe QR self order. You want to be able to order your access. So, for instance, let's take the case of QR order. You may scan this, print it out, or download it in the system, gives you room to download it, print it, and maybe put on your tables. If you're running your system online, somebody comes, you sit on the table, you don't necessarily need to say this, you just order your command, and the waiter or whoever is serving will be able to get that command on your table and any information that you're adding to it. So you basically have to do so. And it makes work easy. There are so many other things you can do. So, but for now, if I just decide that we don't necessarily need these things right now, I can uncheck it and save our changes. So I save, and if we go back to where we were, I think now we'll see that there are some modifications. Sorry. Oh, I think we're sorry, I've opened so many tabs. Nevertheless, let's go back to let's follow the process rather than struggling. It's just yes, POS. Yes. So you see that right now it has changed from what was there before. We see now a new a modification to our UI. And here you have working client. These are people you don't necessarily need to pick up the information. Maybe you're selling a supermarket, somebody comes to buy bread or to buy something, pick up something. You don't necessarily need to have the person's name. That's why it's more or less a POS system. And so you can basically treat the client as working. If there's a client you have already saved in the system, you'll be able to select that particular client. You can go to this. There are so many things you can add there. POS management. You want to display this way. You have a second screen, and so you want whatever messages and how the second screen should look like. You can customize it here. We have the Z report and the X report. These are daily reports. So this is a report that when you are closing the day, you come here. This is a midway report. If you're working shifts and you want to must not necessarily close the entire system, you can just pick up this report that gives you a quick overview of their cash flow and cash or what has been done so that the next person can pick over without necessarily closing the entire system. Then we equally have here manager sprint. Manager sprint is basically a quick report about the activities. For instance, here, your daily, we have maybe how many invoices have been issued, the total gross sales, if there were discount, if there was taxes, maybe items were sold that contains taxes, your net sales for the day, your cash sales, maybe if you have selling more cash and all of that, you're able to see. So that is the essence of if you can check other things, opening balances, if you have to do reconciliation and the items that were sold for that day, you want to see detail and so on and so forth, you can check, validate. So that's the essence. You don't necessarily have to go through the entire system. The manager's report is a quick guide to what happened within the organization for that particular day. Now, this is to solve the problem that most businesses run at the end of the day, and they have to come and manually recalculate everything. And the management may not really have a quick or understanding of the business, especially if you're not the one running it and somebody's running on your behalf. What is there as a quick overview of what happened, transpired in a day, and you can come and compare it with previous days. You can be able to do a lot of analysis. And so that is the essence of that report. Now, Once you are here, we have tried to make the system as simple as it can be so that our clients may have a great user experience. And so how do you now go ahead selling your activities or selling your products or whatever you are doing in selling? So you just have to search here. This is a search menu. Immediately start clicking, the items come up. For instance, I already see and items populates here. You have maybe you want it to, you see the quantity, you see the name, you see the price, and so on and so forth. You can see the ones that are already getting low. Now we have said hide out of stock, which means any product that is completely finished, you will not see it here, so that you don't need to have a crowded UI for no good reason. And so I can select, if I click here, that item is basically selected and added to my cart. So if I double click, the number of times that you double click, so I need this item maybe 7 times, I just double click on it and it's added, it's augmented in the cart. Now I also add this one, maybe about 5, I click 5 times as fast as I can, and that is automatically sent. Now, one of the things you may also want to see, you will also see here, if these are products that you have registered their expiring date, you find it somewhere indicated that the product is about to expire, depending on how maybe it is red when we have just less than 7 days, maybe yellow, and then green. So it really matters your settings. And all of these are customizable within the system. Now, once that has been done, or here, you may also want to change the format of presentation. Rather than having maybe a form of card, you may want to have it in the form of a table. You give that liberty. Or you want to select products based on their categories. I want to, so categories. If I go to alcoholic, it makes it easier for me. I can easily select this. These are the things I need. Maybe bread related. If I go to bakery, those are different category. Body lotion, I have this and I just double click. If I go here, you see so many things and you select whatever you're selecting. Now, that makes selling easy. Once you are done, you see that you may want to, and as the normal selling process goes, you may want to look at if there's a product that has taxation, you may want to produce at your tax value here, maybe 19.25. We are just assuming that every product here is taxable. So you write your 19.25. You may also want to maybe discount, overall discount. So you put your discount, or maybe if I say 2%, that will automatically be calculated. And if you come here, you see the total value, the discount subtracted, the tax added, and you are able to just with it. Now, the good thing with the system is that as we're working, we have designed the system to be very intelligent and maybe we want to facilitate and give speed to the client, to the user, making you, and so as you are selecting your item, your money is automatically populating here, how much you are expected to pay. This is how much you are expected, or this you are paid. And so the system tries to say, okay, if your bill is this amount, you can either give 69,000 or you may give 70,000, you may give this, or you can give an exact. So this is just facilitating how you work. And you can also split this pay. Maybe you don't want to pay all, you can want to pay part cash. You put it here, part Momo, and put this reference, orange, model, card, and you put a reference. All of that makes it easier for you to be able to. So now, if you're working in a supermarket or any shop that have a customer-facing interface, you can click here on display. I hope you're able to see. So the customer will be able to see his or her bill and the amount that, and you can see due to the items. If you come here, you can see this how many items and what are the total price and whatever you have. So you also have that. Now, you can go ahead and charge this client. So we assume the client has paid the money, you can charge the client. So depending on this can take sometimes it's quite fast, but if you have so many items, you have to process because what the Solafide system tries to achieve, what we're achieving is that if you're using this system, you don't necessarily need to have any knowledge about accounting at the end of the day. You should be able to have reliable accounting reports. And so this interface comes up now with a quick of invoice number, the total amount, payment method, and so on. And the customer, you can either print it, You can save it. You can send it via WhatsApp or email, or you click a new cell. If I say new cell, they will take me back to the interface and I can continue to issue a new cell. Or I can take maybe print. If I take print, the system will open and give me room for me to go ahead and do the printing. Or I want to view it, I will see it here. Now, this is your cash receipt with the details of whatever you have. You can customize it, the design, where you want your logo to be, how you want your information, which information you want to show, which one not to show. Still at the administrative setting. You can change the logo, the colors. Maybe by default you're seeing blue, but your company colors are red or whatever, green, and so depending on, so you have room, the possibility of customizing. So we're trying to make the system US and not Solafide has nothing to do with this. We are just making your business management easy. We are not changing your identity. So that's why even the receipts, the invoices, the bill, the purchase orders, you can customize as much as you so want in terms of how your position of your logos, your information, what you need to appear on it, what should not appear. Yeah, your color designs, color preferences, or company colors and things like that. And it gives you, so you have this. And so basically that is a quick overview of the POS in Solafide. It makes business management much easier and you don't have to. So everything is done instantly. We can also select, yeah, maybe touch sales if you have double screen also again where maybe in a company where you have you can have this double screen, somebody can, or you want to use the invoice sales approach, you see it here, but that might not necessarily be. But with quick sales, I think in the course of selling, if a client walks out or we are struggling with issue of change, you can basically press hold here. If I have a transaction pending, I don't have a transaction pending. So let me just this. I can basically hold this transaction and I move on to another. So that transaction has been suspended for some time now. When I want to, I come back and restore. I have the transaction restore. Okay. And if after selling, there's a tip, you can add a tip to your system. And so it makes it, if you want to see the last receipt, just click here. You see all the receipts. You can click this one and see whatever or the last purchase. And these are some of the recent sales that have been done in the system. You can have this information. So basically, I don't know if you find this interesting and you want it for your business. I think Solafide is open to come in and to go walk through the whole process, the setup, and one of the things we're not telling you about software. We're telling you that we're bringing to you visibility about your business. We are bringing to you a structured, organized workflow. We are also bringing to you other relevant dimensions that you can manage your business. And so that is much we can do for Solafide. Now, if I want to leave this interface, I can just come here. I go back to dashboard. It will take me back to my general interface. That's Yes, it will take me back to the general interface where I can see all the other modules and any other thing that I want to get from my system. So before we go, just a quick overview of what the system has to offer also. We have sales. Everything about sales that you may want to know, you have it or you want to do, you are highly likely to have it within the Solafide platform. And here we have invoices, estimates. Now, this is another interesting dimension that you may want to. Most business activity, it normally starts from sending your estimate. We send the estimate. So if you come here, you see that you can generate your estimate. For instance, I have an estimate here. Let's just preview it. Maybe it will help us. And as you are developing your estimate, the system tracks can give you the progress. You can convert an estimate to an invoice. You can convert it to a purchase order, to a bill, and what have you. And you can also export it. If I export this, you will see it also well presented. This is our my estimate, and basically we call it a pro forma, where we this pro forma by this organization, and so you see all the information. You can sign and agree, but then that's not all. We also have bills, purchase orders. We have already discussed some of these things before. Okay, we're under sales. You have credit. All your receipts are generated. When you do a payment, the receipts are generated and kept here. You can export and can export them. You can credit note in case there is any return, you'll be able to issue a credit note. Recurrent X invoices. If there's some recurrent payments, you want to program them here so that the system automatically takes care of that. Batch invoices, you want to do bulk payment. There's so many invoices or bulk action you want to execute, you can do it here. Maybe there's so many invoices, you just want to approve all of them at once. You want to plan a payment for an invoice, maybe schedule a payment plan. Uh, you can do it. Invoice report, reminders, invoice factory, those are things that you may be able to do within the system. You can register your customer and suppliers, as we have said. We have product and services, yes, what we are offering, the of different units of measurement. Another interesting feature in the system is a CRM module. Now, the CRM module is, for me, is one of the best because the success of an organization is a function of customer relationship. If an organization will succeed, they must give a very important attention to their customers. And so we have our customer relationship, we have prospects, pipeline, follow-up, analysis, and reports. And so this is where you're able to register. For instance, somebody just came in and wanted to find out information, you register the information. I came in where the person is coming. For instance, you're able to, if I come to add a prospect, this is the information you collect, which could be very useful. The person's name, organization, their email, and so on. Their business category, which is vital. Maybe a hotel, supermarket, contact person, available contact, the pipeline. How did you know about a person from social media, in person, and so on. Lead status. Contacted the person online and whatever, or lead status. What level is the person's communication within this prospect, with a prospect? What level are you at? Contacted, engaged, disqualified, qualified, in negotiation, converted, or lost? You can do a discussion with somebody at the end of the day, it doesn't work through. It means you have lost the client, so you indicate it here. And also, if that is not where you are, we go to maybe lead pipeline. This one helps us now to track what has been done so far. If the person has qualified, maybe there's a proposal, have the proposal been done, negotiation one, and so on. And you can issue a proposal. For instance, we talk about estimate. You can connect your estimate with this so that we track the progress of that. And anytime a lead change stage, you can now qualify proposal in negotiation one. And once it is won, your invoice or whatsoever you are dealing with is automatically generated. The level of interest, very moderately interested, very interested. The figure, so maybe I know that we are targeting about 200,000 from this particular client. And what is the win probability? The person is highly interested. So I think that we have up to 80% chance that we can close this deal. So I have to come in and put that win probability. Now, why is this important? Uh, Medium, yes, it's very high, and the win probability is high. Also, I'll need to give priority to it. Assigned to. So who have been assigned to follow up this client and who is working on this particular client? Now, why is this important? This is important because in an organization, at times the lack of communication between the different staffs and maybe workers will cause them some customers that they normally would have returned and make money from. So when you assign it to somebody, the person sitting in his or her own system sees that we assigned this client, and you can also put in some details about the conversation you already have with the client. Under additional information here, you can type in, maybe you discuss with the person was asking, and so on. You can put in that detail there, so that if anybody picks up, will know what has been discussed so far and what needs to be done and what is the next steps. The person can give a call, the person can maybe write a proposal, the person can send an email, can send a text, and all of that is tracked in this module. So it is very, very important for an organization that wants to succeed and to have a great customer experience. You need this customer relationship management module. Now we have procurement. It has to do with purchases within the organization. If it's a business like a supermarket we just saw, there's a lot of products. How are the purchases done? Who has the ability to generate a purchase? Goods receipts, then suppliers, bill payments, and things like that. You can also have that. We have expenses. Yes, this is another interesting part. Expenses form an integral part Organization success is not only a function of revenue that comes in, but also has a lot to do with, I think, how expenses are managed within the organization. And I think success comes when revenue is optimized while expense reduced to its barest minimum. And for us to achieve this, we must be able to capture all our expenses. So in the system, since we are based on OHADA, we already have all the list of expenses that within the possible from OHADA main categorization, but you can customize it. You have your expense dashboard, you have your expense claim, and so many other dimensions that are useful.